Hey, what are the challenges that the Panthers present? You know, they're a little different from when y'all played them the first time around.
Yeah, I think they're running the ball very well right now. I don't know if Bryce Young has had like over 25 passes in the last, couple weeks or whatever. So obviously you see what their game plan is to try to control the clock by running the ball very well. Obviously Rico Dowell's, the running back number one now. And he's done a really good job of, getting that run game going. Yeah, he's running pretty hard. So that's probably the most, the difference that I've seen so far is just the amount of runs and boots as well that we got to take care of.
What's the morale of the team? Are you one of the leaders and so forth coming up for these tough two losses here?
Yeah, obviously people are frustrated. As people should be. That means people care around here, and all that doesn't matter if we don't fix it and get a win. People can be as mad as they want to. Nobody cares. All that matters is if we can get a win, and we got 8 weeks left, and we're still in it. So all it takes is one win. We can't win all 8 of them right now. All it takes is one of them. And from there on, you never know what could happen. That's all you can do is just take care of this week and try to get this losing streak off of us. And there's been plenty of teams that's done this before where they're 3-6 and they go on to the playoffs and they go on a little run. So I've been in that situation before. Just got to make sure that we stay together as a group, as a team, and truly believe that we can make this run.
Jessie, you've been on obviously really good teams that went deep. It feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it feels like there's more talent on this team than the record might reflect.
Sure.
And I was just wondering, as a veteran, how does that happen sometimes?
Yeah, we know that we're a really good team, and our record doesn't say how good we are as a team, but you really got to dig deep and really look at yourself in the mirror. Like, how can I, what can I do to, change the game, or what can I do to continue to do my job at a higher level to get us over this hump? We've been in really some tough games, some close games, and really good teams. When it's time, they're the best when it's required. And I feel like the last couple games, as a defense, we've had chances to end the game, right? So that's a little bit frustrating as a defensive guy. Our offense go out there and do their job and put points on the board, and we have a lead. You as a defense, you want to go out there and win those games. So, yeah, it's frustrating for sure.
We talked a lot with you last year about you and Mike having your lockers next to each other, and he wasn't playing an awful lot, but you were keeping him in the game, right? Keeping him and making sure they realize that he's just one play away. Mm-hmm. How has that relationship evolved this year? And we talked to him yesterday. He's putting a lot of blame on himself. He's kind of putting a lot of fault on himself. How do you what is that? How's that relationship evolved, and what do you guys talk about now?
Yeah, I probably should start talking to him even more now. When it gets hard, when you're not playing as well you want to, it's easy to go and hide away and not want to talk to anybody. So yeah, that relationship has evolved, and to watch him continue to try to figure out what he can do to, make more plays. Whether that's him, he's been using his feet a lot more. Something that we kind of talked about, just being able to extend plays and use his athletic ability that I think a lot of people don't know he has. So, yeah, it's been good. I know it's, as a really good player, as a young player, it's easy to just point it all on yourself. But there's more to it. As a leader, that's how he should approach it. But he has to bring people along with him. He can't just do it by himself. So that's something that he'll continue to work at, I'm sure. And just being that vocal leader that we need. We need that. We need that voice. We need that on the offensive side, where, when things aren't going well, some type of voice that'll bring us back to what the standard is. So I'm sure those guys are, talking more than me and Mike talk every day, but I think there's improvement for sure.
Hey, the run defense, since that'll be important this week, how do y'all, fix the runs? Is it, I don't know if it's a coach said misfits, or, but then I guess everybody got kind of food on the long run.
Yep.
Down, that happens. But what are y'all trying to hone in on and make sure y'all keep run game down? Yeah,
I feel like this week we've really emphasized about staying on your blocks throughout the walkthroughs and stuff like that. Just seeing it as a second level guy, making sure that you see what gap you need to fill. I think that's probably one of the biggest things about this week is just trying to do better in our meetings, do better in our walkthroughs about how we're going about our run fits. I know yesterday we did a little bit more run fit period for the guys up front and the guys on the second level, just to see. Like I said, sometimes it can get cloudy. But, when you're in the walkthrough and you can see you got your D linemen sitting in their gap, staying there, and then just letting the ball hit each gap, it helps you as a second level just to understand where you need to be. So that's a challenge. For us, obviously the run game has hurt us on this 4-game losing streak. So we got to put the fire out, and that doesn't just involve linebackers and guys up front. It has to include our DBs and our corners as well on the second, third level.
So is it an extra period or extra how?
Yeah, I just think it's just a lot better walkthroughs, a lot more detailed in our walkthroughs about where our run fits need to be and what it needs to look like.
I want to ask you about Jalen Walker a little bit. Now that he's back and playing real well. Brick and Raheem have said, even since the summer, that he feels like he's a guy that is going to be a captain on this team, like maybe pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And I was just, from your perspective as a captain, as a veteran, what does that entail? And do you feel the same way about him? And what is it about him that makes you all feel that way?
Yeah, I just think that the way he approaches everything, that's what makes him not feel like a rookie. I think just the way he goes about his business. And it's not just always on the field, just the way he carries himself off the field and in that locker room. It doesn't always have to be, vocally, but just the example that he can kind of set, not just for, our football team, but even just, James on his other side, playing the same position. It holds a lot of weight when, you got somebody that's very talented and can, make sack fumbles. He can do everything, in the book. But also he can process stuff and he can be that example, that, role model to people. So I think that's what really stood out to me. I'm pretty sure that his dad's like a coach. He's been a coach his whole life. So when you have structure like that, you have a great foundation. It's easy, I feel like, to lead men in this locker room. So whether he's, 21 years old, 31 years old, some people just got it, and I think that Jay Walk has it for sure.
Was there a moment at all over the last few months where you saw that, this guy is processing at a higher level than most rookies are?
Yeah, I would say, I've noticed that since he first walked in. Obviously, he's a little bit more like shorter compared to like, an edge rusher. Yeah. But obviously, there was a reason why he was picked so high, and I watched him when he was even in college. To see him transition and do some of the same stuff that I watch him doing at Georgia here just says a lot that he's ready to take that step, and I'm excited to see him continue to grow.
You're obviously a leader and a captain on this team, but have you seen anyone not in that normal role kind of step up during this tough time to bring everyone together? Yeah,
I think Billy Bowman has been pretty impressive as well. With him just having his time away with his hamstring that he dealt with, and then he's coming back and just being vocal. He wants to figure it out, and as a young guy, you're not used to young guys speaking up, and I think Billy's comfortable with doing that. He's done it, and that's pretty impressive to me for sure.
Anything else? Cool. Thanks, y'all.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Jess.
it, man.
Afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Coach.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Good. I'll start it off. Tough loss last week in Germany. We talk about special teams. You talk about the coverage game, which we've been pretty solid in throughout the season in coverage. To, that last kickoff cover to let that ball, get outside. And it all starts too, you talk Taryn, Mark, and D-Led about leverage, just keeping our leverage and guys just doing their job and being consistent. We want all 11 guys doing their job on every play. And at times, if one guy doesn't do their job, and then other things could happen, it could trickle down. And unfortunately, that happened on 2 plays on kickoff, and then it happened on 1 play on punt. And that's not our standard. And we hold our guys accountable, and we hold them to a high standard when it comes to that, and we will be better from that. I thought the first half, we did a really good job with field position and the coverage game. Bradley did a good job overall. He had 4 punts inside the 20 with 3 inside the 10. But there was 2 punts I would like for him to get more hang time on, and he knows that, and more directional punts with that so it could correlate with our coverage. Return game, some guys finishing up their blocks when it comes to blocking in space, just with their technique. And then I thought Zane, for his first game playing for us on the team, did a good job with his execution, his operation, his ball contact, and we had great protection versus a really good Indianapolis field goal block team. So, going into this week, we got a big challenge this week versus Carolina. They have 2 really good returners with Etienne and Chuba, who's now doing kickoff return. He used to do it a couple of years ago. Those guys are both north-south runners, looking to cut the ball back, break arm tackles. So population tackle is going to be big this week. Sam Martin, their punter, does a great job flipping the field when it comes to his punts and directional ability. And then obviously Fitzgerald is their kickoff guy, and he does a good job hitting the knuckle ball, dirty balls. So our guys are locked in. They're ready to go. We had a good day yesterday when it came to our return game, and then we have a great practice right now. We're going to have working on our coverage units and working on, doing our job, being violent with our hands and maintaining leverage on the football. So excited for those guys, and obviously Zane, he's operating at a high level right now and continue to build off what he did from last week. So I'll open up to any questions.
Yeah, Coach, what was the loss of D'Angelo Malone into the units?
Oh, man, I just spoke to D'Angelo last night. I appreciate everything D'Angelo's done for us as a special teams core player with his physicality, his passion, he holds everybody accountable the way he plays his game. He leads by example. That is a big loss for us. Along with Josh Woods right now being, dealing with something, but at the end of the day, it's the next man up. So I'm looking forward for our guys. It's going to be by committee. Our guys stepping in and coming in and being able to lead the way. And then those guys, too, the challenge for our guys, too, even though if they're not playing or if they're down for a little bit, whatever the case may be, they can still be impactful for their team. They can still lead their teammates when it comes to that. But those, losing D'Angelo for a while, that's a big hit. But our guys are excited, and they look forward to the challenge. And all of our guys are working their butts off to be ready to go on Sunday.
Technically, you said lose leverage. Looked like they were breaking it outside. Were they blocking it for that way?
Sometimes the ball just bounces. You go back and watch the opening kickoff of the game. We do a great job of keeping leverage on the ball, and then that's when Cordell Hodge and Felipe Franks makes the play. So, naturally what can happen is if you run the ball in the middle and everything's blocked up a certain way and you cover a certain way, you dictate the terms on where the ball is being ran or being returned. Unfortunately, when it came to that same situation on that left side, the same play, same return, people didn't do their job and keep their leverage. They got their outside shoulder captured. We had guys free in the middle of the field, and then the returner just made a good decision and just decided to abort and go outside. So that's what everybody, all 11 guys doing their job. Whether it's the kicker putting the ball where it needs to be or 10 other coverage guys being where they need to be. And when we do our job, that's when the plays are, you play with your technique, and then you get an opportunity, and then that's when plays happen. So play with your technique, be disciplined, and then if you get provided with the opportunity, that's when you get a chance to make those plays. And it's every play doing it. And you could never get tired or get bored of doing that. And the little details, being detailed with those things will lead to big results. So it's just those guys just doing their job, and our guys are excited to get back out there and get another rep.
So Mike Ford was saying after the game, he said the right shoulder guys have to make tackle with their left shoulder, so that means they can't lose over there.
Yeah.
And he reverse for the other
You know,
side.
you can keep it simple. Like, if you're lined up on the right side, you want to stay to the right.
Okay.
If you want to line up on the left side, you stay to the left. So if I'm on the left side, I should keep that ball on my inside shoulder. Keep my outside shoulder free, keep the football on my inside shoulder. That's what we define as leverage. So making sure we continue to do that and we finish at the ball with leverage. Whether you're talking about defense or coverage units, they all go hand in hand.
You mentioned the knuckleball kicks, and that was something that you guys had a hard time with the last time against Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the things, like, how do you even drill for that?
Those are things we've always been drilled for. Ever since the rule came out last year, those are things we drilled on, we've operated with, we've handled before. Just so happened in that game we didn't do a good job of executing those plays, whether it comes with our alignment, our details of keeping our eyes on the ball to finish the catch or secure the ball, those little details. So it starts with before the play even starts. How am I going to be aligned? What are my rules and parameters when it comes to playing that type of ball? Is he kicking it left? Is he kicking it right? Can we tell if he's kicking it left or if he's kicking it right? All those little details to give yourself a chance to win that down. But those are things that we work each and every week, multiple times throughout the week. And it's just up to us. We got to go out there and just execute that down and then make sure we secure it. And the most important thing is the next play, Mark, that we have the ball for our offense. Obviously, we want to continue to get vertical and gain first downs, but we got to make sure we have the ball for our offense. And those are like field position is big. We want to make sure we win that field position battle. So if it's getting the ball past a certain yard line, that goal is for that week, that's the plan. And that's what we're going to go out there and execute to do.
Y'all didn't have Agnew that week either.
Correct. Yep.
That helps.
Well, I mean, obviously you always want your best guys out there, but same thing we're talking about with D'Angelo Malone. It's the next guy up. So if we put those guys out there, they got to go out there and execute. And we believe in those guys, and they've worked at it, and they practice at it, and we got to go out there and just finish the play.
How much do you expect them to kind of attack that same way again as they did in week 3?
We expect that each and every week. You know, as soon as that happens, that's the game plan, that's the mindset. Each and every week, we can't control what other teams do, but the one thing we can control is our preparation. So those are things we got to anticipate and prepare for. And luckily, we have BP, Zane, and Lenny. They do a good job of providing us with certain looks and certain different things, certain different kicks to go out there and operate, whether it's punts or kicks. They give us those looks to help us go out there, and our guys can feel confident to go out there and be able to help our team on Sunday.
What was it like for you kind of seeing Lenny in his home country last week?
That was awesome. You know, just seeing, the fan base, seeing him be back in his country, being able to be around him and see his culture. That was pretty amazing for my first time ever being in Germany. He's truly loved out there, and it's cool to be a part of his journey.
Did you discuss the Carolina running backs, Rico and Chip?
Rico, and he kind of hot right now. Mm-hmm. Somehow, these past couple games, he went hard. And we know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to establish the run early. They want to live out there. So I think for us, it's just a matter of getting back to what we do best and stopping the run, making them one-dimensional. So pretty much.
What would be the key? Because I guess Bryce scrambled a little bit. Y'all had Daniel Jones scramble a little bit last week. In addition to the running backs, do you have to kind of account for the quarterback too?
I would say so, and I think, we try to keep him in the pocket as much as we possibly can. So the main focus initially is going to be to stop the run, and when we make them one-dimensional, we'll know what we can do as it concerns the pass rush stance. So as long as we can stop the run, everything's going to take care of itself.
What has stood out to you about Jalen Walker so far since he's been here?
I mean, he's a dog. He's a good player, I know he's a rookie, but when he's out there, he feels like he's a vet. He's wise behind his years. So I think I'm excited for him, and I feel like he hasn't scratched the surface of what he can be as a player. So I'm excited to see him finish out this season. Hopefully go out there and be the defensive rookie of the year. So, and years to come. So he has a bright future for sure.
Raheem and Brick have said this whole season that he's a guy that could be like a captain on this team, which is for a rookie not something that often gets said. Mm-hmm. Why is that? What is it about him that makes him like a leader and a possible captain in the future?
I'll just say how he goes about his business. You know, I feel like some players you either have it or you don't, and he just carries himself like he's a leader. So I think I would be disappointed if he's not a captain next year. So
Okay.
I'm excited for him.
All right, how do you think things are going for you this year so far?
Pretty good so far. You know, well, we got 8 games left. Just try to get better, take one step at a time. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
I have one more for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your best Drake London story.
Well, Drake, you know, it's been 4 years since me and Drake got here. He was supposed to play me one-on-one basketball. Hasn't happened yet, so hopefully this offseason.
He's ducking you.
He is ducking me.
Yeah.
And I want to call him out today.
Today.
We're still in season, so, you know, off-season. I'll go to Cali if I have to, so he can
On
play
his
me.
own turf.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have no problem with that.
But he averaged like 29 a game or something.
I was a dude, too, in high school now. So, yeah.
How much you put up a game?
You know, I was a overall all-around player. You know,
Okay.
I'm like a J.R. Smith. Like whenever I'm hot,
JR's.
I can light it up.
Okay.
So I'm flying to Cali. I pay for my own ticket. I fly to Cali and I play in one-on-one.
All right.
Do you have any good stories though about Drake and the time that you guys have been here?
I'm gonna have to think about some. Not necessarily on top of my head. You know, Drake quiet. He just come to work, handle business, and go home.
Very competitive though.
Oh yeah,
Very
oh yeah.
fiery.
You know what's funny about Drake is like when you see him around, he's like mellow, calm, and when he's out there, like he don't necessarily talk shit unless somebody started. But like when you see him make a big catch, it's like you see that dog come out of him, and it's always like, damn, he kind of have like 2 personalities inside of him. So that's what I was excited to see.